Well, in many ways, I've always been very practical. And after I was married and had children, I did decide that I was going to call the boys by names that started with the same initial, so that underwear and things could be labeled properly D. Booth, and they could go on either one of them. In many ways, I felt that I'd have been an inadequate mother of a girl. With a boy, I guess I figured nobody expected very much of me, so whatever happened was fine. And we did very well together. We had arguments as they were growing up, and I still remember being very disturbed from time to time. And once we went to someone who theoretically was set to help families. And when she said, "Which one of you causes the problems?" each of them went, "You." So I know we weren't getting very far. But as everybody grew older, we all grew mellower. And I think our family is, a very pleasant, loving unit. And I can call on the boys for anything, but I don't for very much. We just say each other as often as we can. And I always smiled when I discovered that each of them had decided to move to a different city. And I thought, oh, well, I wouldn't like to have my mother on my neck all the time. So I never said anything, and we've always been great friends, but I silently felt that they had deliberately chosen not to stay in the town where they had been brought up. So that's part of my pleasant reminiscences about, the boys. We have a very good relationship. There's no problem. And Derek has had 2 wives, but everything is fine at this point. And I would say the family is intact.
And do you have a favorite memory about either one of them or both of them growing up?
No. We once had to go to a counselor, and as I think I mentioned, she said, well, which one causes the problem? And each one went, the other one. So we got over it. We're very good friends today, and they talk to each other. They don't see each other that much. And Derek has been married twice, but the first wife is the mother of the children, so I see her from time to time. Her name is Liz, and everybody is on reasonable terms. Once in a very great while, I think it was my 100th birthday, everybody was all together, and no problems.
And you've got beautiful grandchildren.
Yes.
So tell me about them. And
well,
were you present when they were born?
They're boys. I have, yes, there is Zara and Azura. The names were the mother's choice, but I was always amused that they had Z in them. Zara and Azura are in one family, and nobody's asked me about my grandchildren in time. I'm not thinking straight. I have boys in the other family, yes?
I'm really not sure. I believe so, but I don't think I've met them, and I don't think we've talked about them, so I'm really not 100% sure.
Well, I'm, at the moment, not prepared to talk about them either, because they're not uppermost in my thoughts. My sons are very close to me, and they're good friends through the years. It wasn't always so, but everything is fine. but I'm not suggesting that we discuss them. I have very little to say about it.
Okay. I just love the underwear story. Labeling the underwear with the same initial.
Yes, I did that to be practical.
Yeah.
I was never, much for housework or women's work or tastes. Mine, I don't know what was either wrong with me or right with me, but I was very interested in things that I couldn't really understand. For instance, television. The mechanics of television have always been a total blank to me, but the whole notion of what television brought to the world was awesome, and I felt very privileged to be a part of it and to try to get teachers interested in using television in the classroom and persuading them that they were not going to be replaced, but they were going to have new ways to teach children, which would improve the whole situation. And I'm gratified. I think I was right. So that part's good.
Throughout the 60s, I remember watching television in the classroom. That was probably because of you.
Well, partly. I mean, I can't take full credit for any of it, but the fact remains that the teachers were suspicious and always felt that it was supposed to take their place, which I was absolutely certain was not what was going to happen. And I was very pleased to be able to take the message that I felt was important, that everybody should have access to television. And it was quite interesting. Even the administrators of schools had skepticism about how much television was going to either help or hurt. But in the long run, today, everybody knows about television, and it's not a new thing at all. But I was happy to be in at the beginning. That was very pleasant. I enjoyed it.
Must have been really exciting.
Well, it was fun. It was fun.